Gusto ko nang pakilala ang aking mga katrabaho, kaibigan, kasama sa kalikasan. Ayan. Ang chair ng Climate Change Committee ng House of Representatives ay isang batikan na kongresista at local government leader. He was governor of the beautiful historic province of Bohol. Classmate Kong Edgar Chato. He's online now. I can see. Are you in your beautiful province of Bohol? Kasing ganda ng aking antike. Ayan, Kong Ed Chato. At siya sa kanyang komite, ating kino-author yung kanyang climate emergency na sa isang forum I came from just now ay binanggit na sana mabigyan natin ng mahalagang atensyon. Say hello, Kong Ed Chato. I know that you're in Bohol and not in the House of Representatives because we're still on lockdown. Hi, Ed. Happy Earth Day to our Boholanos.
Happy Earth Day, Deputy Speaker, classmate Loren Ligarda, and our colleagues also in this program. Thank you for inviting us here.
Yes, mamaya papag-usapan natin yung iyong in-author, yung ating in-author na climate emergency at ano pa mga batas na kaya natin isulong sa ating mahalagang panukalang batas. Pagka-author kami niyan ni Kong Chato, yung ating ban on single-use plastics. Dahil ang Pilipinas ang third na pinakamalaking polluter sa plastic sa mundo, kailangan meron tayong batas para ma-regulate ito. Now, this webinar which we started in May of 2020 is a Stories for a Better Normal. Kasama natin dito ang Climate Change Commission, ang Mother Earth Foundation, ang Institute for Climate and Sustainable Cities, ang Climate Reality Philippines of Vice President Al Gore, ang Department of Agriculture, ang DTI, pati na rin ang DepEd. Kaya buwabati po tayo sa ating mga guro, mga principal, mga supervisors, lahat. At thank you so much, Secretary Biones and Undersecretary Sevilla, for the partnership because this is part of our law, the Environmental Education Awareness Act, where we are able to share the laws and the work we do on environment and climate. Kong Chato, first, yung ating climate emergency na final na resolution. Has this been adopted by our House as a whole to urge all agencies of government to regard the present pandemic as part of the climate emergency? Pangalawa, bilang co-author ng ating bill on banning single-use plastic, ano pang magagawa natin para mapausad natin ang panukalang batas na to? At pangatlo, sa inyong napakagaling na expertise sa lokal na pamalaan in more than 30 years, 39 years, ano ang masashare mo bilang dating gobernador ng Bohol na pwedeng matutunan ng lahat ng nanonood, maski hindi government official sa kanilang mga tahanan? Classmate Kong Ed Chato, an outstanding government leader.
Thank you very much, classmate, Deputy Speaker Loren. Napakaganda naman ng talakayang ito because the legislators, all of us, can share information also with the local governments and the other national government agencies. I'm so happy to be here. Just to inform everyone, yung ating panukalang batas na magdeklara ng climate emergency has actually been passed in Congress, in the plenary. And just to highlight, napakaraming kadahilanan kung bakit napiling ideklara ng Kamara ang sa pamumuno ni Speaker Lord Alan J. Velasco ang climate and environmental emergency noong November 25, 2020 ito. And then natatandaan na unang quarter pa lang ng 2020, nagsimulang lumaganap ang pandemya dulot sa COVID-19. Ayon sa 5th IPCC Assessment Report, ang pagtaas ng risk of disease outbreaks ay isang indirect na epekto ng climate change. And ang pagbabago sa temperatura, pag-ulan, bumagyo, distribution ng disease vectors ay pinagmumulaan ng mga sakit. And so, noong October 2020 naman at saka November, nagkaroon ng sunod-sunod na malaking bagyo, nagdulot ng pagbaha sa ilang mga lugar ng bansa. Kaya iniisip na kung magkakaroon tayo ng batas, kailangan na yung ating pananaw tungkol sa fight against the climate change and most especially about increase in emissions or gas emissions is very, very important and necessary. Kailangan rin na medyo susunod na tayo sa ibang bansa na binago yung kanilang thrust towards not only looking at the word climate change or the advocacy in climate change, but really to shift towards climate emergency. Kasi kailangan ng climate emergency na maintindihan ng mga tao na mas grabe ang sitwasyon. Kung meron tayong problema tungkol sa COVID sa ngayon, we should even be more fearful about the future kung hindi natin ma-address yung climate change as an issue. So, pag sinabing climate emergency, dapat ang buong bansa, from the executive to the legislative to the private sector at lahat ng mga local government units all over the country should be one in looking more seriously, take a second look, a third look on climate change as a major issue. So ito yung dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon tayo ng deklarasyon of a climate emergency para magkakaroon din ng immediate and consolidated effort, including data gathering, so that we will be able to respond more and there will be more participation from all sectors across the country. So yan yung dahilan ng ating batas. Now, napaka-importante po ng ating pagtutulungan dito sa dissemination of information, advocacy, pagbibigay pansin doon sa mga iba-ibang commitments natin sa Paris Agreement na ginawa, including our NDCs, because we have to make sure that we contribute nevertheless to the global campaign. Even if we are maybe one of the least in terms of contribution to emissions, but we are the most affected in terms of devastation. And so we should be more concerned about this. And it's important that the structures of government and the private sector must be one in this advocacy. And we make sure that information, communication, all forms and platforms of whether it's social media or the regular media must be able to help out, including the structures of government at the barangay, purok levels, schools, and all the communities. So that's really the main reason why the Climate Emergency Declaration was passed in a resolution in the House. And then take note, 41 economies already, including 28 European Union member states, have signed a climate emergency policy measure. And I would like to acknowledge also that there are local governments in the country, like the city of Bacolod, the city of municipality of Tolosa and Leyte, the city of Cebu, na nagdeklara na rin ng climate emergency at the local level. Napakaganda kasi pagkasama yung lokal, kasi sa totoo lang, pag meron kang national policy, the implementation goes down to the level of the local governments. And that means a lot in terms of success. So ganun po ang tinitingnan natin. Sa Bohol naman, because you were asking about what's happening in Bohol and how we also tried to put in place our environmental programs in Bohol, napakaganda po ng experience ng Bohol. Kasi nung vice governor pa tayo, nagkaroon tayo ng pinakaunang environment code ng buong bansa. And it's very interesting because when we passed the environment code, it became also some kind of a model maybe in the other provinces of the country. That was in 1998. At that time, I was president of the Vice Governors League of the Philippines, and that opened the way to crafting the provincial 10-year integrated solid waste management plan, which is very important. And then LGUs also have their own approved year integrated solid waste management plans. In Bohol, we have 48 municipalities within the city, but most of these have already adopted their plans. And then we also established the Albor Cluster Sanitary Landfill. And this was inaugurated and started its operation when I was governor of the province of Bohol. But we started making this actually as a project when I was still congressman in my first 9 years in Congress. This is important because every LGU are required under the law to have their own disposal system. But the problem is the capability to put up a cluster, a sanitary landfill is difficult in terms of financial capacity of the LGUs, especially the 4th class, 5th class municipalities and 6th class. So we decided to come up with clustering, servicing the different clusters. So we have 17 towns that are covered under this cluster, and they are also the towns that provide support to the operation of the cluster. So we created the Provincial Ecological Solid Waste Management Technical Working Group, and then the Provincial ESWM Monitoring and Evaluation. And we also we conducted monitoring and evaluation for the search of ESWM best practices. Dito, binibigyan natin ng mga awards every 2 years. And the provision of cash incentives, we incentivize our process of advocating for compliance to the law. And I would like to highlight the municipality of Hagna, which is facing the open sea, biodiversity-rich Bohol and Mindanao Sea, and Talibon, for example, the northern part of Bohol, facing Leyte with the Danahon double barrier reef of the province. And even the city of Tagbilaran, I would like to highlight, because they adopted an ordinance also prohibiting the use of plastics as packaging for products that are sold in the markets, in the malls, in sari-sari stores. So various legislations in the province, I would like to acknowledge also, the legislations that are passed in the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. And these legislations are now being implemented under Governor Artiap. And I'm so happy that even if there is still a lot of room for improvement and a lot of areas to work on, led by the governor and the other officials of the local government, a program to enhance the province response to environmental threats, climate change, and the campaign against plastics is really a challenging one, yet also an inspiring story.
Barangay kayo, Kong Chato, in the whole Bohol, in the whole province?
We have 1,109 barangays in
Wow.
the whole province of Bohol, and
Yes.
that's 47 municipalities and 1 city.
Okay. So doble pala kayo kasi kami 580 barangays, kayo more than 1,000 barangays. So ano ang challenge sa inyo na i-ban ang paggamit at least sa commercial establishments ng single-use plastic sa Tagbilaran City so that the other municipalities around can actually follow suit?
Okay, ito yung mga challenges actually, no? Kasi sa tingin natin walang isang silver bullet or isang magic pill na makakatulong sa atin upang mawakasan ng problema sa plastic or climate change. Kailangan nating gamitin ang lahat ng mga available solutions to help combat our dependency to single-use plastic. So kailangan magtutulungan talaga tayo. Sa ating pananaw, number 1, ang pagpopromote ng pagsupil sa throw-away mentality, kailangan talaga yon. Piliin ang reuse and recycle. So iwasan ang mga paggamit ng plastic at secondary packaging. Bring your own bags. Napaka-importante itong mga advocacies na ito, and then paano natin mapaintindi or how do we make people understand the connection between health and climate change to the changes of behavior, because this really affects some changes in paradigm and how people will look at things. And if it's not only going to be academic on the part of thinking, but it should be in the heart and in the way of life. If we can practice this as a matter of way of life, then it becomes a system for everyone. So I call for the government agencies. It's important here, and this is a challenge, including academic institutions and private sectors, to conduct researches also on alternatives that will lessen the carbon impact and not do more harm to the environment. So kailangan din nating yung sinasabi ko kanina, I mentioned to you about the province of Bohol trying to incentivize best practices. We can incentivize also alternatives that actually lessen the carbon impact. And we can also incentivize the local governments and other stakeholders by just like what we were saying, awarding in reducing the plastic waste, more focus on the plastic waste. And then,
I'm glad you mentioned about the academe. Tamang-tama, binanggit mo, kapartner natin dito sa ating webinar ang DepEd. Alam mo, kung lahat lang ng DepEd schools ang magsisimula kasama sa LGU, sigurado ko yan ang game changer. Kasi pag ang teacher na ang magsabi at principal, pag yung non-teaching personnel at staff at yung mga bata sasabihin sa magulang, Nanay, Lola, wag na po, ito na po, itong katsa o itong aking lumang pajama ay gawin na lang po natin na eco bag. Yung lumang kortina po na butas, ito gawin natin eco bag, hindi ba? Yan ang game changer. Kaya I'm glad kasama natin ang DepEd. Gagawin natin model ang ating distrito. Yan. Kaya kala nyo free lunch ito. May homework tayong 4 dito. Ako sa Antique, naku, malaking hamon dahil bago lang akong congresswoman. Of course, si Gov Chato, Kong Chato, kayang-kaya niya yung 1,000 plus barangays. Si Kong Kiko, bago rin yan, pero teacher yan, academic yan. Ay si Mayor Rosal, kayang-kaya yan sa Legazpi. So ang gagawin natin ito para tayong live Facebook Zoom meeting. We will engage, ibig sabihin, ang partner natin, ang DepEd. Ang mga district supervisors, principals at mga guro at non-teaching personnel, intensive na training, focus on single-use plastic para yung kanilang mga tanong na hindi pwede, mahirap ito, mawala sa isip, sila ang maging eco-warriors, champions on the ground. Sa Negros, sa Bohol, sa Legazpi, sa Antique. Tapos, pa-contest lahat ng DepEd school sa talagang striktong wala ni isang single-use plastic. At bawat eskwelahan ay merong MRF ayon sa RA 9003, Material Recovery Facility, at meron din pa-contest ng pinakamagandang gulayan dahil yung organic compost mula sa food waste. Tapos pinaka-innovative na mga eco bag galing sa anumang lumang upcycled o recycled na gawa. Ayan, pati mga old magazine. Ako pag pinuputol yung mga magazine nun sa Senado, sabi ko, wag naman yung cover ako nung bata ako, wag naman yung mukha ko ang gagawin yung eco bag, wag naman ganun. Anyway, biro lang yon. So, ang tanong ko, Kong Chato, siguro after this, maaari nyong ibigay sa amin, i-share yung best practices sa barangay level, purok level, city level, even sa Tagbilaran City, ng innovative actions nila tungkol sa pag-ban ng single-use plastic ordinance sa Tagbilaran. Maganda yon para matuto kaming lahat sa ginagawa sa Bohol. And perhaps even in Antique, even if bago akong congressman nila, I'm sure ang aming mga lokal na pamahalaan may ginagawa rin innovations about the ban of single-use plastic. So, Bohol is so beautiful with all your heritage structures, especially your churches. Your rivers are pristine and have been awarded, especially your beautiful Lobok River, which I miss so much. Tourism is your primary source of livelihood. And so, caring for the environment is already attuned to your lifestyle. And the ban of single-use plastic is part and parcel of that. So, Kong Chato, after we passed a resolution that was 6 months ago, 5 months ago, what's the way forward? We know what to do, and we have this little plan among us in this Zoom to make our districts model districts on the ban on single-use plastic habang hindi siya batas para may proof of concept. Ano pang ating way forward sa climate emergency, Kong Ed?
Yes, with respect to the ban on plastics, we really would like to have that law passed because it becomes a framework on a national scale. Yan yung pinakaunang priority. And the other thing is we inspire, of course, the local governments to have their own initiatives at the local level. Kasi kanina sinabi ko na napakaiba yung sitwasyon pag yung lokal talaga ay committed doon sa ating ginagawang batas nationally. To me, I really believe that while the legislative branch is the people's branch of government and it sets the rules, the best policies are still those that are crafted from the experiences of our people. And yung experience ng mga local governments like Tagbilaran, yung kanina sinabi natin yung Leyte, Cebu, the other provinces that are adopting the policies and the programs can inspire also other local governments. And then strengthen the structures. Kasi sa batas naman natin, meron na tayong mga MRF sa mga barangay, but how operational are they? So the next steps really is seeing to it that the local governments exercise their overall supervision on the activities, affairs, and program projects implementation, and most especially on policy implementation at the local level. Yan, hanggang barangay level yan, even up to the Purok. Kasi in Bohol, our Purok network is very, very strong. Every 10, 20, 30 households belong to a community, a neighborhood community, a neighborhood association called Purok. It's not just an address. It is a living organization that meets every month. So the extent of disseminating information and influencing behavior, we use all the structures that we have in our different LGUs and the local communities. And aside from that, our private sector as well has to work hand in hand, including the major corporations that contributes, for example, to a lot of plastic production. And then when we shift the mode of, for example, not using plastic anymore, it will also create ripple effects on other industries that will try to develop ways of, creating packaging materials and whatever that are more biodegradable and environment friendly. In fact, it creates jobs at the local communities because the people working in the aspect of disposal of waste, they're employed. And also people who are used to buying plastics would now resort into using locally made products. So you will see some organizations, POs, NGOs, that are seeking financial support to be able to put up capital in making eco bags, in making baskets or whatever that can be used in the market. So there is also a shift in terms of choices the moment we are able to implement the law that we will soon be passing in Congress. While many local governments are already into it, it will really be different. Even national policy framework is set, and the commitment of national government is there. And of course, oversight power of Congress to oversee every agency tasked to, execute. We must make sure that the political will is there too.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And may I reiterate my request that we will try to make our 3 districts the model for the ban on single-use plastic while we are waiting for the law to be enacted. And perhaps you could ask the speaker to encourage all the 300 or more representatives from the various districts as well as a party list to adopt a district so that mauna na ang lokal bago pa yung national policy kung ito'y magtatagal pa. Thank you so much, Kong Chato.